that's the axle off the car. Now, I didn't really want to do it this way, but hey ho, it is what it is. So brake lines are pair, so we'll just cut them off, stuck a rivet in there to stop it dribbling out. So that's that done. I'll replace them anyway. Same on the other side. Now, those brackets are meant to come off, but those nuts were absolute ninja tight. So I undone the big ones with a bush instead to drop it off. So we had an idea, obviously, nice shiny red springs to make the Jetta sit a bit lower, nothing major, 40mm, was it 30? Something like that, nothing silly, just a bit. Only cheap springs, but good quality. So we pulled the shocks apart, as we see. These are sash ones. They're only a bit dirty, so I thought, well, they're probably good to reuse. So I took them all apart. It's quite easy to do. But one thing I found out was it's no good. So that screwed that idea. So they'll go in the scrap pile. Bit annoying, but hey ho. So while we're here, we're going to do some waxing. So pull these bits off, just a bit of fabric stuff with the sealer over it, then we can seal it loose. Now what we want to do is spray wax like so with a long tube with a little nozzle on the end which sprays out 360 degrees. So shove it down one end as far as you can go. You can pretty much get right near enough where the bumper bolts on, and then when we take the bumper off we can do the gap from that end. So get it down as far as it will go. These are readily available. Plop that on there, and there we go, and we spray it. As you just spray it, just pull it out slowly, and you get a good coating of wax inside the sill. So we're just going to do that side, again the gap in the middle, and then the other side. And then we get to the main sill, under the doors, you've got bungs along the sill edge anyway. So once they're down there, we can pop those bungs off again and do the same process in there, just to give a bit of extra waxing in there. It's pretty rot free anyway, chassis wise, apart from what we know. So we'll give a good dashing in there, just to prolong the life a bit more. So we got the arch on 16 valve 90 spec. However, the idiot who bought them off, I've just realised, has cut the end off on the left hand side. Annoying. So we've got that mark on the wing, and what we want to do is see what we can do with the arch if it covers it. Now I've got it on there, obviously held on the top, so I can pull it off, and I've just marked where the arch goes to. So on that point there, you can see we've got a good inch clearance, so I don't have to worry about that damage too much. So all we're going to do, clean it all up, etc. Then it'll have a nice clean line of stone chip all around the arch, front and back, so it'll be inside the arch sill cover, just to give it some good protection. So we have our spoiler, so I thought I'd get onto mounting this. Now this is a genuine Hella Jetta spoiler, so obviously it's not going to say this lovely bronze colour. So there's roughly where it's going to sit on the car. I'm just going to mark up and see where we need to drill some holes in the bodywork. So we've got the markings transferred over to the boot. We've marked our drill holes where we want them. This centre point's only had one fixing, so I'm adding two on there. Well, putting two on there just to make sure. So once we're all happy, we can drill some holes. All the holes are drilled, so now we just need to take the tape off, wipe it down, and cover them up until we're ready to get the spoiler fitted. So the arch is done. Not. So we just wazzed it round with a grinder, front and back, 80 grit flappy wheel, just to get all nice the edges off, mainly on the inside to get it nice and smooth, and the bottom edges to see where we're at. If any rust in there, we're pretty solid, so we're happy with that. Now we know we've got a bit of gap there, so all I've done is whizzed it over again. I've lobbed some paint over it just to cover up any bare metal. I know it's a bit counterproductive, but the car's outside. I don't know exactly when I'm working on it next, so I just don't want any build up of more sort of contamination than I need. And the next thing we're going to do is the bottom of the actual inner arch, where that lip is clean all that off, peel off any loose seam sealer. If anything's good on there and it's solid, it ain't coming off. And all the inside of that can get etch primed, gloss black stone chip and then probably a bit of clear wax in there just to give it a good old bit of protection and prolong its life. It's all greased and clean now. So our Ninja Tight nuts have come loose with a big hammer and another socket, 11/16 AF. So we're going to get this off, see what is left underneath. Hopefully a lot more than the other side. Doesn't look too bad, but I have suspicions there is a little bit of something hiding under this black underseal, which has just been sprayed everywhere. Now that brake line did snap afterwards, so no worries, I'll just bend it over and then we'll change that later. So it does look pretty solid until you give it a little tap with the old Mark 1 hammer. Just there you go, we got a hole. Not a big issue, we know it's there, so it's fine, we can just strip it off. It doesn't look as bad as the other side, but I have got an axle stand in the way of that, but as it's holding its weight and hasn't gone through it, it's going to be a lot stronger than the other side. But yeah, both sides we'll just strip all that underseal off, see where we're at and repair what we need to repair. Now I'm not cutting up the whole axle mount itself because that will mess with the alignment, and the rest of it is solid, just edges of it, so not too big of a job. Could be a lot worse, but it is that, so that's fine. So thanks for watching, give the video a thumbs up, give us a subscribe, and I'll see you in the next part.